I just noticed my mic was off. God fucking damn it. Pick the Prometheans. We don't have a lot of that. Death to the Heritage, Glory to the Emperor. I say we have two ships now. Ha 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 ha.
Mighty machine spirit, lend us a modicum of thy power.
Oof. We got a big boy in. That's a fucking cruiser. That's gonna hurt like a fucking son of a bitch. Should have identified weak points first. The enemy shields, disrupting them with the weakest side facing the flagship. The enemy has a hollow shield, it loses several of the charges. Almost. Should have launched those closer. It's a lot of incoming fire. Oh, I don't control the Heartless. We can drop his shield, drop his fucking shield. Should be out of range of the torpedoes. That thing's almost fucking dead. Boop, 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 boop. If we can drop that, this fight got a lot fucking easier. More bridge fires. So we're also taking a fucking beating here.
No mercy for the enemies of humanity.
Did it just fucking all-out bar itself? Ooh, okay. Worried about those ones. Good. Be in range. Use of every special zone in a void battle. Okay, should be out of range of those torps. Nail him. Shit. Thank you. Don't fucking do it. Perfect.
The Emperor blessed us with victory this day.
Dart Halo. Drive provides 14 speed along flow acceleration. Fires, 2 at 21. Those are better. All hands on deck. Speedo salvos instead of 1. Launch the boarding party to infiltrate enemy ships, starting internal fires, and possibly causing engine damage that triples the ship for 1 round. To be used once per round. So positions, while the flagship is in such position, its evasion increased by 35%. All hands on deck. Mm. It didn't stand. Arid world added. You. $2,000. Strong acceleration, braking. Like that. I'll select a new order array. Size bolter. Hmm. Doctors are the hardest ones to get leveled up with. Just need 900 more. Final threshold. Followers had 75% or more wounds. Their deflection is increased by +3, and their parry is increased by +18. Take that. Enemy killed by the wearer's area of attack increases the wearer's damage by +3 until the end of combat. Go. Insert the data crypt. Data bank to the tech breach. Access the data from their doors. With reverent trepidation, the tech priest accepts the device from your hands and places it inside one of the drives, and all the while honoring the machine with modeling binary prayer. Turbines within the tachyon stir into motion, and the vid stream lights up. Status initiated. The tech priest extracts the data slate from the tachyon and gives it to you. The machine spirit has revealed contents of the encrypted data, and I hereby pass to you. This is where I reached the limit of my authorization, but you now have the option to review the decrypted data personally. Road Trader, likely a lackey, it is humiliating and dispiriting to put up with the part of an errand servant of an imperious madman vested with even greater power than that of any road trader. Alas, when one side of the scales holds my pride and the other the fate of the von Bausch's protectorate and my entire bloodline, choice between a futile illusion. Choice between a futile illusion. It would be far too naive of me not to prepare for the worst. Epitaph will decide the future of the Expanse as a whole, and I have some time at my disposal until then. Heirs with the Von Velcius blood in them will soon be located and brought to me. I cannot afford to delay the choice of successor any longer. Put that on. 15 to 21. Yes, please. That one. Range 4. Oh, rate of fire 4. Sorry. Working on getting your strength up. You need a strength of 60. You're at 40. Abelard, do you have anything to say about this?
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
What about you?
Domin.
What's my name?
The Vizier taught us that there are many like us throughout the Imperium who spill blood in his... through blood, sweat, tears. I'm here, Domin.
I'd say it's a way to get out of that now.
All of my
Okay.
thoughts are of you, Domin. May the
Alright, how about you? I haven't talked to you in a hot minute. If you recover from the encounter.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't. Maybe I never will. But I'm not hearing random voices anymore. And I haven't been calling anyone from the other side. No. All that's done with. After what you did for me, I can't let you down again.
We'll hope for the best.
Yes, sir, Lord Captain. Of course.
Companion quest, Secrets of the Cult. Granite. Blades in the Void. Trying to stand the Xenos raids. Mortis Acius. There's Valentius. Dead Man's Chest. I like the sound of that. Different material form, the navigator may either steer the ship past the dangerous region or risk approaching the jagged formation to gain a valuable insight. Steer past it. We got pirates. Appears a large void ship recently dumped a huge load of junk and faulty parts from orbit. The debris that did not burn up in the atmosphere is now blocking the flow of the mighty river. This dam is causing the river to overflow, flooding the nearby village. Ahead, I heard a large hoofed rodent has gathered along the riverbank. If the animals lose their usual habitat, they are doomed. Cannot flee and are virtually defenseless, and their valuable meat and pellets will prove quite useful. Riverbed, it's a long and laborious process, but the animals will have a chance to survive. Takes many planetary turns and hundreds of crew members move the heap of trash and unclog the river, letting the water flow freely. Once more, and the rodents run back to their pastures without so much as a backward glance at the people who saved them. Damn, was hoping to do something out of that.
The litany of ordnance rings out across our decks.
Oh, it's only one? So yeah, this dude's fucked. First popping with that. And with this, give him the good news. Go up alongside. Point blank his dumbass. Finish off this way. Drop his shit. Come along this side.
Where we tread,
One
the
round over.
unfaithful fall.
Technically, this will be two, so the torpedoes have to take their turn, but... they're quite literally just gonna run off and... yeah. Just end it. Woo! Yeah, we don't have a lot of Promethium. Now we need to start making our way up to the our manufacturing planet. Boss. that save. Make that save. Alright, we have a safe transit all the way down to Footfall. So report your proctor has been arrested by Voidsman and is demanding his execution. A repeat offender, he says. Please do something, Lord Captain. Who is the Voidsman? He's one of mine, not as big a fan of an idiot as the rest of the idlers, and understands the control systems. He can make sense of the readout. A repeat offender. Bring the detained man to me personally. Consider it done. Bet you to look into this outrage. This cyber horror nearly chewed my assistant, and one of them's been left without two of his fingers. Instead of calming his beast, the Arbiter attacked my crewman. His crewman is a wanted man, Road Trader. He is accused of subverting sacred tie shipments, smuggling, kidnapping the Imperium subject, and bribing officials. We were not on your flagship. I would have executed the heretic on the spot, but here you are the authority and you are the court. Are you certain this is the man you're seeking? There's such an Din Arbiter. You will be put off this ship and not via shuttle, but through the airlock. Revor, did you know about this? If I went sticking my beat into the past of every one of the hundreds of people in my crew, I wouldn't have time to steer the ship. All I know is that when everything went drop shit on Rytar Minoris, this one oversaw the work at the dot so that the fools didn't trample each other to death in the panic. And later he ran into a friend at the port on Footfall, and they found us some parts within a day. He's even got arms growing out of the right. He said our arms growing out of the right places. He's even got arms growing out of the right places. He might make it to junior helmsman if he keeps it up. Why did you attack my subject? The bastard tried to run when he saw me. His fellow crew members hesitated and didn't make way for me. There was no time to find out if they were abetting the perpetrator or just panicking, so I had to use Delato for suppression purposes. You are certain this is the man you're seeking? Because I was personally involved in tracking down and purging the Shadows of the Abyss crime syndicate to which the perpetrator belongs. The case was in Calitz and on the world of Hevet's Prime, but the Arbiter's time and distance do not mitigate guilt. The man before you is a former captain of a smuggling ship owned by the Syndicate. Check the Heretic's left arm. Every Syndicate member had a distinctive implant for which they recognized each other. It was the implant signature that Delatro picked up on during his patrols. Hughes, do you have anything to say? The long-haired voiceman flinches when you address him. Your lordship, the governor of the Helvet's Prime, was a scumbag who abhorred the light of the God Emperor. The things he did to the people under him, we only survived by stealing from him, or else we'd all end up in a corpse pit, like 1 in 4 did after a disturbance station accident. But once I got out of there, that was it. I was out of the business for good, and when I found myself in your service, I realized that it was a gift of fate, and I'd be a fool if I didn't repay such good fortune with my wholehearted toil. I have made my decision. Revenor, this tainted voidsman is your responsibility. Should he commit any misdeeds henceforth, you will answer for them. Chances the ways, hand him over to the Factorum. He will find a use for him. Now it's his responsibility. And the void requires 50% less strap. Hell yeah. Then this case is closed. With your permission, I will return to my duties. Yes, it is closed. Alright, I need to make it to where? Okay, so that's Tibia Dam up there. Motion code received message betrays acute concern. Astropaths have failed to put in the words. If you would excuse my forthrightness, I see it is necessary to tell Horus Aurelius the truth. Otherwise, the conflict with the Navis nobility is possible, which the current state of the Chronos Expanse will play into the hands of the enemies of the Imperium. How do they learn I have her? I wish I knew, Lord Captain. It's troubling indeed. Perhaps we have a spy on board, or Regent Aranto is bluffing. In either case, I believe we should respond. Navigators are extremely powerful and useful allies to have. Cassie is safe, and that the rogue trader would be honored to meet in person. I'll see to it. The Astropaths will transmit your consent. Representatives of House Aurelia will be waiting for you on the Capitol doors. Receiving members of Navis Nobility is always down to matter. Please make sure to discuss the details of the meeting with your Chancellor upon arrival. Alright, now time for the sketchy jump. Could render it safe, but 7 damage. We gotta fight.
Let us not dawdle.
Are they? Ah, fucking plague bears. Alright, at least 2 of them. Let's set you up back here. Set up over here.
I will leave
Move to
footprints
there.
of scarlet.
I'll jump on in.
The shadows will see it done. As honor or death, let your soul be purged.
How many sets of bleeding do you have on you? 15.
Trust me. As honor ordains. I shall not fail.
Alrighty.
Trust me.
Parry. Ah, I see. Bottom up. The double slot. Close in. Let's end this fucker.
My vow is to serve insignificant value.
Alright, so we got more of these fuckers popping up. Couple trap for you two.
Running by Neriko's right.
Most of us. Move to there.
Get me a target.
We won't need a favorite enemy. Buff you with that.
Alas, no. But of course, your
Fucking cut him down.
I won't object to it.
Alright, parried that.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Hey buddy,
The
fuck
Emperor
off.
commands I act. Faith without each strike is a prayer.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Reckless strike. Favorite enemy.
I will do my duty. It will be done. One fewer target.
Swing bada bada.
Setback.
Good dodge. That dude's already dead. Turn
A
over
dance
here.
of blades and shadows. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Good parry. And him.
It's
And
as
him.
good as done.
Good boy.
I'll make it happen. Failure is just a temporary setback.
That guy's dead.
Reading damage to bulk. As the tactical imperative dictates. The
Overcharge shot.
Messiah condemns you.
Vengeance will be swift.
Your free attack.
Naturally, I'm done with this one.
Alright, more bodies are getting up. Good dodge.
It's nothing. As the Emperor commands. Eradicated.
Drop as many as you can.
Doubt is for the weak. Each strike is a prayer.
Run and gun.
As the Emperor commands.
So just to move in.
My ears are ringing.
You're fine, bud. Butter.
I won't go down easy.
Here.
As the tenants demand. Death is a blessing. Trust me. I
Something
shall
there.
not fail.
Accept your lot.
Overdrive.
I'll
And
see
him.
to it personally.
That's Tim.
I'll make it happen. Who if not me?
Fuck. Too many of them for me to kill in one round.
Running binary code.
Set that up.
Throne take you. For the throne.
Fuck you.
I will endure.
Kick him. Three left. If I move to here. First shot's free.
Faith without deed. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands.
Okay, one left. Two left. That's for attacking.
I will not die in dishonor.
I'll pop up at. Got one there, one there. See it.
Death comes in silence. The shadows will see it done.
There. Alright, now backtrack it.
As honor
Jump over to
ordains.
here.
Trust me. As honor ordains. Trust me. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Alright, he's dead. Two. 2, 3.
I would that I could.
I'll
Him.
see to it personally.
That's Tim.
Don't let your guard down.
Okay, so you're the one that goes next.
It's as good as...
Here.
My vow is to serve.
So he dies. One left.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it.
Say, any more fucking bodies? Bill Page has had her pamphlet devolves sickly sweet smell of rot, the universal drench of foul blood and rampant prep. So that's a key item. Filthy fucking mutants. Try to stab me with their poison knives. Should be heretical artifacts just by the fact that we picked them up off Heritage. Chart new paths. The dead man's chest is over there. Unidentified void ship. In the stand. bizarre structure observed from orbit appears to be a ruined estate of a wealthy noble. Further research reveals the remains of an envirodome, a landing pad in the main manor, and the servants' quarters. It is impossible to determine what exactly happened there. The search team has found something truly disturbing in the main hall, the opulently clothed skeleton sitting at the dinner table. The table is set with gold plates covered with old blood and piles of bones. The bones on the plates are clearly human. No other remains have been found on the estate. Search the remains for anything valuable. Saltine turns with some expensive weapons taken from the skeleton. After finishing their report, they hurry away whispering prayers. Assault lasgun. Ha 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 ha. That's good shit. Shouldn't be. Ship at once traveled the galaxy is now suspended in the silent void like a gnawed carcass of a giant monster. The road trader's void ship approaches. The Vodsmatcher reports an incoming message. A colony of Imperium subjects have made their home in the bowels of the ship. They welcome the Lord Captain. Visit the colony. Your Lordiness, please come right in. Our chief shall greet you. No, and you nitwits, quit your gawking.
The Inquisition.
An initial survey of the vessel indicates that my exploratory brethren have already performed a requiem rite here. Further examination is inadvisable.
Yeah, but they might have old good shit.
You have encased yourself in metal, priest. You may trick age this way, but you cannot trick death.
This unit's service life is not determined by entropic degradation. The Omnissiah determines all. He is greater than entropy.
Boy. Wait, Abelard.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Fragments of ship are dismantled. Search for scraps and valuable metals. Tired-looking woman of indeterminable age, clad in work clothes, breaks off from her task to greet you. She freezes momentarily, clearly unsure how to address you, then says simply, "Your lordship, please excuse me, I don't really know your name. Welcome to our little colony. May the light of the Emperor be with you, and with us. My name is Retta whatever. I'm in charge here. Mr. Tova? Would you believe it? Well-spoken rabble. It's rather sweet in its own way. Go on then, amuse me. Tell me about yourself and this place. What is this place?" "We call ourselves Retta's crew, and this place is Retta's camp. That's it. We're recalcitrators, scavengers in common terms." She does not speak the word scavengers with any kind of disdain, or on the contrary, there is dignity in her voice, and the kind with which one would announce their affiliation with a respected guild or family. Tossing a glance at Pascal, she grimly adds, "And our work is all legal, even though your brethren have no liking for us." Pascal stares disappointedly at Retta with a hint of disgust. Evidently, he has not even considered the possibility that replying to this creature with words could be anything other than heresy. "Take it from this place. It's not safe here, and sooner or later we'll drift somewhere so remote that nobody will ever find you again." "You take pride in your trade, I see." "Sure do. It takes skill and luck and a good head on your shoulders. We risk our lives every day, crawling up at the top of those old buckets. If something goes wrong, we die. But the store sometimes, one moment we're there, the next we're gone. Kind of like worker ants. But you know what, your lordship? Our job also has something. How should I put it? Poetic about it. Hope you don't judge me too harshly and don't take it as insolence. But some people, even big people like you, think too highly of themselves. Let's say your ship hops into the warp someday and doesn't hop out in time. And around 1,000 years later, another gal like me, who needs to feed her 3 ankle biters somehow, would be rifling through its remains looking for anything good. That's just the nature of things. Each of us comes and goes, but the way the world works stays the same. We all have our lot in life. Mine is just as good as any other. Because none of us can change anything for the better. Those are some big things you're talking about, way out of my depth. Change for the better? Heck, that'd be nice. Retta pauses to think. If I was younger and didn't have 3 youngsters back home, maybe I could dream about stuff like that too. But as it is, I've got no time for dreaming. I gotta work. I should take you from this place. You've got your own ship. No, not even close. A luxury like that, you can count the recalcitrators who own their own ship on one hand. An old worker's hand that's got sucked into machinery 3 times is slashed by a plasma cutter twice. We fly with whoever, mostly just taking our chance. Sometimes we hitch a ride on the promise that we'll pay with what we find later. Other times we find some other means. Risky business, obviously. 5 or so years back, a crew got dropped off at an abandoned station, but something wasn't right with the life support systems. The ship came back to pick them up 2 years later and found nothing but bodies. About 15 years ago, back before I had my first little one, a ship took 3 crews to locations and ran into pirates on the way back. The ships go out on expeditions for years at a time, so it was ages before anyone realized they were missing, and it was even longer before they remembered the scavengers. Plus, it took some time to find a ship that could check on them, pick them up. Long story short, all three crews had bought it. Yep. What can you tell me about this wreck? Not much. We're no eggheads, you know. We're manual laborers. It's an ancient thing, pretty damaged, pretty dangerous, and we don't really know much beyond that. Before we came here, the Tet priests had done their own bit of gutting. I mean, ritually bowling to the ship, all that. That lot don't tend to leave a whole lot of valuables behind, it's true, but it's way too scary to go in before them, and hey, we dragged a dozen of their broken servitors out of the mines after. The cartridges smell awful, but you can collect a decent number of parts out of a servitor and sell them. Doesn't seem like there's anything nasty living inside the wreck now, but the wreck itself is barely holding together. You go a couple modules from here, and that's it. You won't take another step without fearing that a broken reactor might cook you alive, or a whole module might depressurize. Well, it's nothing we hadn't handled before, so we're having a poke at it. But we don't have a clue what this ship is or who it belongs to. What do you do here? Nothing. Right now we're gutting this old heap slowly but surely. That's a regulator's life for you. They drop us off on some decrepit station or ancient battlefield, and we just sit there for years on end. We look for working tech or valuable materials or whatever else might be useful. If we find anything, we sell it to passing ships. Not the easiest job out there. These wrecks are chock full of all kinds of dangers. And I swear it on my plasma torch, it's an exciting one for sure. Alright, thought so. It's a shot full of all kinds of dangers, but I swear on my plasma torch, it's an exciting one for sure. This little bird's at all kinds of bells and whistles. Most of the tech is dead, but we do find work in pieces now and again. We spent 2 whole months clearing out the shafts we found. Finished just 3 days ago, actually. We found this thing, a bit weird looking, but still functional. Retro expression bright, so perhaps your lordship would like to buy this component from us? I'll bet that big ship of yours could get plenty of use out of it. So Vox cackles imperiously. He tells her, present the object, lay woman. Oh, buy the component. Wasn't this something? The Emperor himself must be smiling upon us. I mean, thank you, your lordship. It's a pleasure. You'll be pleased with the results. So, 30% fuel. You know, your lordship, it's kind of embarrassing to offer you this, but over in the corner there, we keep things we don't rightly understand or can't really use. You should send some of your people to check it out if you'd like. Clearly you know more about this stuff than we do. You might find something useful. I can take you from here. But this is our whole livelihood, your lordship. Take us from here, and what are we going to do? Sit in some hold, slaving away? Here we got our own colony, our own operation. No, this is our path, and we won't stray from it. I see. Your lordship, please don't take it as insolence, but it's not like I have much choice. It's not often that we get well-stocked ships around here, and we could certainly use some provisions and some worn clothes. If it's something you could be willing to provide, we could gladly barter for it. Whatever we can dig up inside this here ship, it's just a respectful offer of fair trade. She bows her head.
I always have a backup plan.
What corner do you store the shit in? Dumpsite cup piece is metal.
There.
I always keep my options open.
Oh, a gem in the pile of rubbish right there.
Duty prevails.
Gem in the pile of rubbish.
The Emperor favors me today.
So manual duty officer of how to access saves by
This Explorer tool is blessed with multifunctionality.
Rush not dawdle.
What did I do wrong here?
Operation successful.
Used to be inoperative. Mm,
An initial survey of the vessel indicates that my explorator brethren have already performed a requiem rite here. Further examination is inadvisable.
Heinrix. Speaking of the Lord Captain's new companion, you have been to Footfall. Would you happen to have a special file on Haydari?
If the smuggler had committed enough transgressions for me to have a file on.
yep. By the opponent. All right. Mm.
Keep your wits about you.
Easily done.
All right. This.
I better myself through my service.
I'll save right there.
Duty prevails.
Scrap metal.
The Emperor favors me today.
Encode to the safe by logging into the ship's cogitators. Baltimore shit's done. You can now activate a previously hidden tattoos check.
The machine god grants me insight.
I'll check the terminal near the shuttle.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Now appear to be inoperative. Far right shuttle bay.
Footfall only received sustenance thanks to the Domin's magnanimity. The people have been taught to rely on the compassion of others, a lesson in helplessness. We have earned this right through sacrifice and service, and we will humbly accept death if the Domin decides that the spinners are no longer needed by the flagship.
That's not it. Mm, yeah, I do that.
I better myself through my service.
The machine god grants me insight.
To the right of your landing shuttle. Now check the terminal near the shuttle to the right of your landing shuttle.
Operation.
Stop, it appears intact and try to power it from the local source.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Fuck. Alright. Alright, I got it now. I got it.
The machine god grants me insight. Operation successful. This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
On the codes to the safe.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Aha. Fractal blade. Sword dance short fractures bones parry. Most warriors prefer swords that provide more flexibility on the battlefield against close range, close combat enemies.
I always have a backup plan.
More ballistic steel. Mm. Oop. I can't boost your strength anymore. You're maxed out at 70. Increase your toughness. For when that becomes necessary. Started power armor proficient. Rather than let me a hatred. Weapon skill. Yep. Ballistic skill. Got 23. Sector Terminus. My Psyker got stronger.
The Inquisition taught me many things.
Alright, no loot left
Always
here.
keep my options open.
Dispatch the shuttle to the dispatch the shuttle to them. Move cargo provisions. We're unable to mine that. Bus notification, the auto crew drowns, the usual noise of the bridge and the Imperial vessel, the Dark Piercer's escort ships are headed your way. Your archives make no mention of either the ship or its owner. As you consider the course of action, the ship's captain contacts you first, introducing himself as the Pilgrim. Captain greets the road trader courteously and offers to purchase any information you might have on crystal flotsam deposits. As for the captain calls himself Pilgrim, which has not always done the right thing in his life, but he once beheld the blessing of the Emperor himself, and has followed a special path of service to him ever since. This path he now treads as the Pilgrim. What will I get in return? This one controls Spanish for years and knows many of its secrets. He promises to let you know intriguing rumors. That's not enough. Looks like the captain of Dark Piercer is unsurprised by your reaction. He's willing to pay in gold and securities for any information about the Flotsam. Why do you need it? Captain's course laughter forth from the Vots. Flotsam is part of the parcel of many different aspects of life in the Imperium. How exactly his customers are going to use it is none of his concern. All the Pilgrim promises that the Flotsam will be used for the good of humanity. They immediately remarks that someone without a name is not to be trusted. Deals with such people do not tend to end well. If she were you, she would first find out his secrets and scrupulously remove him from the equation. Pascal becomes visually animated by the mention of Flotsam, though indifferent in the prospect of a deal with the shadowy individual. The Magos nonetheless recommends you find out more about the deposits. Your own protectorate would benefit from the knowledge. Propose a deal. Captain of Dark Piercer is in his best spirits. In gratitude for your invaluable help, he sends you a small box containing ancient maps and documents. They appear to speak of certain imperial worlds lost many centuries ago. What spiritual tone? The Pilgrim relays a story about a standoff between two Xenos fleets, which he was told by an acquaintance. The person in question, sadly enough, died at the hands of the Inquisition before they were able to pass the coordinates at the crash site of one of the Xeno ships. However, the Pilgrim knows for a fact that the vessel met its demise on an ocean planet. Okay. Bid farewell. Render it safe. Alright. Island battles unfolding before the Road Trader's eyes. Patrol ships from the Court Fleet is tearing apart a small Andari vessel. Once they are finished with them, the Void ship give chase after them. The third, already damaged vessel, clearly with the intention of destroying it as well. Seeing the last ship's beating death, Field calls out to Lord Captain, her voice trembling slightly. Only the Road Trader's intervention can save her kin from the massacre. Order them to stop the battle. The Boss Master relays Lord Captain's demand to stop the battle as soon as he returns with a reply. According to Tortoise ships, this troop of Xenos are malicious criminals. They are guilty of raiding the system's planet and robbing merchant vessels. The City of Tortoise Void ships are intent on performing their duty before the Emperor and exterminating the Xenos. Let's only watch the unfolding chase through the stained glass window of the captain's bridge. She grimly concedes that no crime should go unpunished, except her kin were flying transport ships. It would have been impossible for them to rob a ship, let alone launch a planetary raid. Vessels such as theirs simply lack the firepower to do so. The Monkey are lying. Examine the ships. Despite the presence of some weaponry, the Xenos ship is more likely meant for transporting cargo or the Xenos themselves rather than direct combat. Captain's outraged by the distrust. Men stand down. Going to engage in open battle against the flagship of foreign dynasty, the patrol reluctantly leaves its prey and retreats to the edge of the system. Meanwhile, the wounded Xenos ship is rapidly distancing itself from the recent battlefield, attempting to hide in the shadow of the nearest world. Every attempt at contact is met with frustration. The Bots Master reports that the vessel is in deplorable condition. Who knows how much of the Xeno technology can endure before the irreparable happens. The Andari are too scared and resentful of the Monkey for recent deaths, the kin to answer incoming hails. Despite this, Yuli is certain that she can convince them to cooperate with the Alantat if she is allowed to speak with them. It's 50-50. Let me fucking save in these situations. Should have saved when I got into the system. Farewell. Hey. Nothing admits that there is no conclusive proof the system is something that started a pirate raid. However, this changes nothing. The servants have no mercy for enemies of humanity. And they retreat. Let her try and talk to them. Fucking coin flip every time. Increase your agility. Say allow her to put on Dratari equipment. This. Put that on. Increase your ballistic skill. Just using a single or deadeye shot, the nearest enemy immediately gains +1 exploit. +5 bonus to persuasion. Okay. Shit. It'd probably look better on us for destroying the ships that are coming at them. Continue. 2 watches pass, and the Zetos finally decide to answer Lee's pleas concerning the Alantat assistance. Guardedly asking how it's that the Monkai can help their vessel. The Eldari note that the humans' primitive technologies are incapable of healing the Eldari's vessel's wounds. The sudden benevolence of one human is equally incapable of bringing back those who perished in the recent engagement. Guard the road traders' protection by accepting them aboard the ship. Put the Eldari ship to Giannis. The Xenos can find refuge among their kind there. It's safe from toward vessels. Their future fate does not concern the road trader. Eldari accept their fate with forced humility. They do not resist, but neither do they appear uplifted or rescued. To see their stay on a Monkai ship is an imprisonment filled with uncertainty about what awaits them next. After a few watches, Xenos suspicions are validated. The presence of outsiders is filled in the lower decks with perceived by ordinary people as an invasion of the godless mutants. Shouting prayers to the Emperor, they rush to depressurize the compartments containing the Xenos alongside those who touched by the filthy unclean. Appreciate your lead. She blames herself for the deaths of her kin. Fuck.
Hallowed vessel's bulkheads will hold strong.
Load. Thank you. Oh, fucking dice. Fucking dice. Perfect. Success. Yanis, Xenos can find refuge among their own kind there. Shows how hard they think the road trader and turn their ship towards the distant stars. An inevitable death in the void, no words in exchange. Just at the bat dropped in stained glass window, mourning her fallen solemn silence. Explaining that its soul is numb, she turns to Lord Captain and nods, a short gesture of gratitude for their attempt to save those who could hardly be saved. Fucker. What system is this? Tenebris. Atwilla. Okay, so that really didn't matter then. Gotcha. Since state becomes incoming damage reduced by -0%. It's the fucking Psyker Cape? Scan. Planets avoid even the most primitive forms of life. However, the crew have made quite strange discovery. A mirror laying right in the center of a huge crater. Completely ordinary mirror in a frame, by all appearances, in pristine condition. Destroy it immediately. Crew blasts the crater, raises a cloud of dust, and blots the auger array. Confirming the mirror's destruction is impossible for the time being, but it could not have survived such a brutal explosion. Definitely not. Yeah, we're not taking that fucking thing on our ship. No way in fucking hell. Remember, the Auger crew has detected a small Xenos vessel drifting through the void. Ship is unpowered and shows no signs of being crewed. In the boarding vessel, a squad boards the vessel without issue. Corrosion has laid waste to the ship's system, which led to the death of the entire crew. The interior is full of Eldari corpses. No weapons were found on board. The dead Xenos, judging by their clothes, were not part of a warrior caste, merely the crew of a now defunct ship. Xenosphere Elite claims to have recognized the symbols of the dead Eldari clothes. They were civilian refugees from Craft World Crudot. See how this fight would go. Let's try a blot to mirror flagship posts using non-known Xenos power. Your crew regain control of these posts in several rounds. Appears to be 2 ships. Lancet. It's on the rear. Bunch of fighters. Come around his back. Destroyed 4 ships using intact craft. I mean, that's not a ship, but good miss. Say, luckily, they don't really have shields. Calabastard. Bastard. Lots more fighters. And close into here. I mean, I don't see that as being a very good idea for you, but you do you, bud. You just gave me your rear. Oh, perfect. You came right on in. Torps in the water. That's dead. That really doesn't matter. How do those not get close to me? Those are lance fire. Alright, so we got 2 Dratari from that. Reinforced shields. Each attack draft launch from a torpedo tube, and each torpedo gains +1 hull integrity, improved RAM. Approaching an enemy, the flagship shuts down non-essential systems and starts to drift unnoticed past enemy ships. As a result, in most encounters, large enemy vessels, frigates, and larger are surprised and act later. Using post abilities, there's a 20% chance cooldown will be 1 turn shorter. Silent running. Get over to our planet, and yeah. Request an audience to you. Praetor Anthar is interfering with the crew and demanding to see all active records of fugitive criminals we have ever received from the Imperial Navy. The matter is urgent, if you please, Lord Captain. I will meet with both of you immediately. Bitches. Bastards. Motherfucker. He looks at Praetor Anthar is interfering with the work of the crew. He is intimidating and threatening them, demanding access to the ship's sealed archives. And as for his dog, Vigis pauses, shifting his gaze to the cybermassive and tucking her hand behind her back. I humbly request that you take action. What's wrong with your hand? Only to explain, the Vox Master tried to pet Delato, which activated his self-defense protocol. As a result, I had to step away from my duties and have my implants replaced, esteemed Praetor. I already apologized. In case what happened was an expected outcome from an unauthorized contact with a living weapon of the Adeptus Arbites. Why did you try to pet him? I didn't. This is the first time you have ever seen Vox Master so agitated. I did not try to pet him. It is not customary to keep such cyber beasts on a void ship, Lord Captain. This is my first encounter with such a creature. That Delato, it was following me all over the bridge. And you decided to interfere with his work protocol. Cast Solomon a cold glance before continuing. I had studied the archive and found mention of a ritual of establishing contact, which involves an offering of physical interaction with the beast. You are literally talking about bribery. A pointless act. Cybermassives cannot be bribed, and neither can arbiters. Primed yourself with a note on your personal file. Delatro is a combat cybermaster, property Adeptus Arbites, not some beast. Stop interrupting at once. The Praetor nods briefly. Solomon, why are you sabotaging the work of the crew? I was compelled to intervene as Delatro had intercepted a suspicious signal. The encrypted data contained the word heresy and fugitive. I managed to trace the signal back to the Vox Master's word station. I needed to dispatch Delatro on a reconnaissance mission to obtain new evidence and ultimately to ensure your safety. In other words, you sent the beast to follow me. I questioned the crew in the Vox Master's absence and established that the wanted bulletins sent from the Imperial Navy were being completely ignored. I suspect the senior officer Tolman is abusing your trust. What do you have to say about this, Vigis? Vigis presses her hands that the reports of fugitive criminals, which number in the hundreds, are low priority. What's more, I know that the Lord Captain Theodora was most adamant on the matter. If you forgive me, her exact words, "We are not Strotsdam bounty hunters." The Praetor would know that if he had brought this question to me rather than interrogating astropaths and comms officers. As for the VOD transmission, the frequency on which the senior officers communicate is encrypted. I alerted the staff to the situation with the Voidsman, who was brought to you on the bridge to stand trial. I remind the Lord Captain that Praetor Anthar has no authority to assess transmissions conducted by senior officers on the Road Trader's flagship, not to mention that the signal was wrongfully intercepted. Saruman, what are you suggesting? Your flagship is untouchable for external inspections because of its high status, and criminals are taking advantage of that. So you need an internal audit. You need to pull up the archives of wanted bulletins and double check the crew's records. That is the only way to identify and eliminate potential threats to you. This is madness for a ship whose officer corps alone comprises hundreds of people. the work of hours that would be required for such an audit. Did you know that one of the Voidsmen was a fugitive heretic? No, Lord Captain. He was not listed of the wanted criminals in Troll's Expanse. I assure it is because the relative insignificance of the heresies he was accused of by the Calitian authorities. Perhaps Praetor Anthar had information to which the Imperial Navy does not have access to. I'm ready to make the decision. I trust my officers to keep everything under control. Be granted access to the archives and lead an audit of my true. You and Giannis will double-check all the true on your own. Do not involve the proctor. This is not some filthy hive backwater. You will cease your self-righteous investigations at once, and you had better hope I hear no further complaints about your conduct. Shoulders slump invisibly. Thank you, Lord Captain. As you command, Rogue Trader. Like, fuck! Leave my guys alone. Sunhammer Lance Battery, medium range lance weapon, deals 60 to 70 damage. 5 medium range. 4 short burning plasma torpedoes with 19 damage warheads. Ones I already have are better. It does. It's heftier. Alright, we fucking made it here. Okay, so that just forms a little triangle. Penetrating the system of TVA Gamma, the main industrial road of the Von Valchi's dynasty. However, an astropath report that attempted to contact Governor Gaprat was unsuccessful. But wait, the bots master silence for a few minutes. Lord Captain, new report. TVA Gamma is sending a request to exchange data. Should we accept it? Comply with our own request. As Commander Captain, the bots master switches to a nearby comm channel to relay the instructions to the crew. For several minutes, nothing happens. Captain reporting the Manufactorum is ignoring all our requests and continues to send us its own. The longer we do not accept the messages, the longer and more persistent the incoming signal becomes. I've never seen anything like. Suddenly, a deafening screech erupts from the bridge VOT system. Violent tirades are doubled by narrative code, like Lord Capitals. Lord Captain, interference detected in the compartment's VOT system. Looks like the bridge is cut off from the rest of the void ship. The voice of bridge sounds like a. Where is our last save at? A minute ago. The voice of bridge sounds a working conscience officer's footsteps. The everyday scene is interrupted by the ear-splitting beeping sound, followed by the lumens going out in the dim light, the candles emerging light. One of the officers in frame tries out, another falls to their knees, clutching their head. Over the beeping of Votz's shouts, there's only one word. Shouts. Only one to hear what's going on. The doors are locked. Lost contact with all compartments. One of the bridge officers turns to the throne. Lord Captain, the bot stations are malfunctioning, overloading the system. None of our outgoing transmissions are getting through. The incoming ones that do make it all distorted beyond interpretation. Lord Captain gives an order to on the bridge and request status updates from the other departments. See the team of decryption experts gets to work, data tethers and inserted into the sockets as they connect to the catches. One of the VOTS clerics leans over to the console, another is writing something on a piece of parchment, but then she bursts into manic laughter and stabs herself in the eye with a steel quill. Another scream, a tech priest who is mid-prayer tears himself to pieces with his own metadendrites. More and more lunatics are mutilating themselves and lunging at others. Portions of pitch recording damage after contact with unknown object. An enforcer shoves a rabid servitor away from the Lord Captain as he rushes to help the crew. The image on the pitch is fuzzy, but nothing but a glimpse of people shouting, reacting to the Lord Captain's orders. Within minutes, the crazed crew members are either dead or bound and unconscious. The officers clustered around the Lord Captain are barely breathing, but unharmed. Scrap code, the voice belongs to the on-deck engine seer, who has turned to Lord Captain. From a station, we have been attacked with scrap code, the tech heresy designed to corrupt machines. Transmission received from the planet was infected with its stain and is now running through the ship's veins. Omnis High preserved. The Voidborn officer appears before the Lord Captain once again. Whatever it is that's attacking us, we have a backup procedure that can circumnavigate the VOTS barrier. In the atrium leading to the bridge, there is a terminal for isolated systems that might still be on a loud pop. The pipe over the officer's head bursts, and a blast of hot air flings the Voidborn away from the Lord Captain's body, slamming straight into the cogitator panel. The pit frame spins uncontrollably. The servo skull was jolted by the dust. The pitch recording falls over the VOTS, picking up the crackling of electricity and the death cry. Cast on the bridge, the junior attendant shouts and instantly doubles over, inhaling the poison air. The road trader gives the order to evacuate immediately. Road Trader personally oversees the evacuation, bring the plasma cutters, get the wounded to the exit. The officers repeat his orders. When the servo skull following the Road Trader reaches the doors, they fall to the plasma cutters, and crumble outward. The Road Trader is the last to leave the bridge. Leaning on the support beam, the Road Trader takes several deep breaths, trying to flush his lungs with air. Then he straightens, smooths his uniform, and heads towards the goal known only to him. The servo skull follows. The atrium is in a state of panic. The silhouettes skitter about the dark hall, illuminated only by the flicker of emergent lumens. Curt orders and somewhat feverish words a prayer can be heard. Having lost all communication, the beheaded ship is withering and it takes a while for the Lord Captain to find the cogitator mentioned by the fallen officer. The panel of an isolated terminal is riddled with cracks and bloodstains. On the floor by the terminal, a tech priest is lying in a heap with his head smashed and the technical liquids mixed with blood oozing from the ports. The Lord Captain decides that is fucking dope. Take his chances of restoring the terminal. The Road Trader rips the power key out the tech priest's metadendrite and opens the cover of the terminal. Sparks fly into his face but he is confident in his manipulation of tangled wires and clanging levers. After replacing the cover and ensuring that the system is restored, the Lord Captain brings up the required data on the screen. The maintenance bay is sending out hundreds of desperate distress calls and have gone unanswered up to now. When the machines went out of control and started turning people insane, others, driven by some hateful and paranoid logic, started butchering the servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The tech priests have sustained heavy losses, but the remains of the cult are still holding the line. Out of everything that's happened on the ship, the situation in the maintenance bay is the direst. The Lord Captain knows where help is needed most. He heads to the maintenance bay himself. The Road Trader arrives not a moment too soon. The crew, frightened out of their wits, have already Cornered the priests of the Amnesty are about to execute them. The Lord Captain stands between the angry mob and the Tet priest, his sheer presence already giving the crowd pause. Harshly cutting off any objections from the crew, the road trader orders the officers he gathered on the way here to escort the mutineers out and set up a guard post outside the bay, where the Tet priests begin to offer desperate prayers to the crippled machine spirits. Return to the bridge. The walk to the bridge is uneventful. The trace has passed, although wounded and crippled, the ship nevertheless is returning to its normal operation. Life on the bridge is bustling as ever. Even though the people are surrounded by destruction, the senior officers have the situation under control. And the people have been organized. The emergency crew have already finished repairing the pipes. And the technomats are setting up cogitators and consoles, and the healers are bagging up the few corpses there are and examining their wounds. By the comm station, the road trader runs into the Vatsmaster. Praise the Emperor, you are in one piece, Lord Captain. The situation on board is satisfactory. I was just in the middle of setting up comm channels. Soon all the Vatscasters will be fully operational. Another man appeared in the pit frame, a junior officer completely out of breath, carrying a heap of scrolls. The Vatsmaster nods at him. Ah, here are the reports, Lord Captain. If you find yourself able to return to your station, I can immediately give you a rundown of the state of affairs on the ship. Lord Captain, the situation has been brought under control, more or less. It would take some time to eliminate the consequences of the attack completely, but the vessel is capable of motion. We may even be able to conduct a warp jump. If you feel we should leave the system, allow me to bring you up to date. Fortunately, the bridge suffered only minor losses. The reports mention only a few casualties that have already been replaced. TV Gamma went silent after transmission of harmful signal. I will refrain from sending equerries to the industrial world to avoid a second attack. I'm afraid we have exhausted our options for remote analysis. More information can only be obtained by closing the distance and either sending an away party, or even sending an away party to the planet's surface. Time is time to remind you that about our agreement, nations. I must be present in your entourage during the expedition to TVA Gamma. I am counting on your cooperation. Crew is awaiting further instruction, Lord Captain. Well, our first clue should have been the fact that TVA Gamma is fucking under blockade. Or Plasma Von Belch's protectorate shards as Atoll the server and serves as a backup source of water for the inhabitant worlds of the neighboring systems due to an abundance of bacteria proliferating in the hydrosphere. The extraction of ice has stopped half a century ago, but much of your officers' surprise, the authors attacked the unidentified mining rig deep underground. Presumably, the excavation is aimed at extracting clay minerals near the planet's core, enriched with iron and other metals. Send a scouting party. Turns out to be Incredia Corda's latest investment, whose demesne is located just within a few jumps from the Kratch system. While this world is a little valley to the Von Valsius dynasty, your officers see this gesture as an attempt to test the boundaries of the newly minded road trader's legacy. So this is an act of unacceptable and insist on confiscating and rebasing the extractium that was illegally set up on Von Valsius. Unusual deposit of Atoll's core. Subsequent development will allow the extraction of rare refractory metals. Heeding his advice, the road trader decides to keep the extractium for himself. Okay, that's that.